Welcome to Service Bus Management. This is part one of our installation series discussing the Service Bus Management and Monitoring solution. In this video, we will provide a high-level run-through of the core features of SBMM and provide the use case for this product. Visit mqvision.com.au to learn about Service Bus Management, deep dive into our documentation, view our installation guide, and more. SBMM provides a centralized view of your service bus network with traffic light health iconography overlay to provide immediate insight into the health of your network. Driven by powerful reporting expressivity, you will be able to easily embody your business requirements. Report results can be surfaced as easy-to-digest traffic light health iconography. Site administrators will be able to customize the resources available to the installation. Mark a given resource as either deleted or simply excluded to have that resource essentially removed from the solution. Any such resource will no longer be scanned, will not be presented in the main service bus view, and will not be scanned for reporting purposes. The solution conducts automated network scans once per night to automatically pick up any newly created resources. Administrators can trigger a rescan at any time from this page as well, to pick up newly created resources in more real time. The site ships with the default site administrator role. This grants access to all features and their permissions. At a minimum, it grants site management, which must always be held by at least one administrator. Let's create a new role for just the service bus features. We will add all permissions. When granted to a person, they will be able to both peek at messages as well as manage messages. SBM operates on a role and scope basis. Initially, the site ships with the special global scope. This is granted along with the site administrator role to the initial solution installer. Let's create a new scope for a single service bus namespace. We can be as specific here as a single queue or as generic as the entire subscription. For this example, let's select everything in the DSS test service bus namespace. Let's add a new role and scope to ourselves. To do this, we select the scoped role count link and add role scope. Select our new service bus management role and our new DSS test service bus namespace scope. And here we are shown a clear picture of the permissions we are granting and the resources to which they will be granted. We will be granting all service bus permissions to this user for all resources in the DSS test service bus namespace. A user with this role and scope, and presuming they have no other role and scope, would only see the DSS test service bus namespace when viewing the service bus page. In fact, all aspects of the solution observe the same powerful role and scope approach. In this way, you can grant very specific and limited administrator access. For example, you could create an administrator of a specific service bus queue. In this way, this administrator may have full access to invite and manage users, but only in the scope of this one queue. A person added to the solution in this way who may be granted a service bus role would themselves be limited to viewing only the one service bus queue. This is ideal for allowing each individual business unit to manage their own resources. An administrator with configuration access can manage the installation-specific settings. This includes enabling reporting if you have the monitoring version installed. Selecting the AMQP TCP transport type and defining an associated web proxy URL if required. Configuring the desired organization time zone. As the reporting solution runs outside of the scope of any one user, it will use this value when running date-time related comparisons. SBM captures comprehensive audit logging. Full create, edit, and delete logs are captured for all solution settings pages. Service bus audit logs reflect the actions staff take on messages via SBM. For example, if an officer deletes a message, a summary of that action will be captured here with that person's UPN, the service bus resource involved, and the date and time of the deletion. For the monitoring solution, we also capture all create, edit, and delete logs related to the definition of reports and health reports, and we capture the results of each reporting service run. For the monitoring solution, we can configure the destination to where report results are written. This will either be to SBM itself, to Azure Application Insights as metrics, to both, or to neither. Editing a service bus will show each individual queue and topic. From this view, we can override the setting, enabling queue-specific control. Also, we can use the inline edit to control the percentage of a given queue to scan. For small queues, you might set this to 100, representing 100%. Initially, we default to 5%. The reports page initially shows the 7 default reports. These represent default values we can capture from a given queue without scanning the messages themselves. Utilize our unique reporting solution to craft your own business reports. Reports default to running once every 4 hours. But you can change this to be more or less frequent. When the report process runs, it will scan the desired percentage of your queues to get a point-in-time representation of your network. Let's set this to every 15 minutes. We have access to all standard properties. Also, these 4 custom data type-based properties. Selecting one of these allows you to define a custom property name, enabling you to query any custom properties your software has added to your messages. Every clause offers full data type support. Let's filter by property, my custom date, and filter to messages with a value in the last week. Once we have our custom report, we can associate it with one or more of our service bus resources. For simplicity, let's use the Auto Associate button. This will create a record matching this report against every existing resource. They will initially be disabled, but we can quickly enable all associations with this Enable All button. Finally, let's have a look at our unique health rules. Here we see we have pre-created some traffic light rules. These are reports of reports. They allow you to express your custom business logic by referring to the results of the other reports. So we could select to compare the most recent order processor count of messages results to expected thresholds. When these are met, we are green. Otherwise, we might configure amber or red depending on the value of the actual report results. You can configure reports and health rules to run every 15 minutes or on a less regular basis, such as once a day, to capture a regular view of the health of your service bus network. Reports can be crafted to help isolate issues with sending systems, consuming systems, or the age of messages. For example, you can show a queue as unhealthy if it has ceased receiving new messages, or as unhealthy if messages are failing to be consumed and being sent to the dead letter queue. Detect that messages are aging and therefore not being consumed at the expected rate, enabling visual alerting for your support staff. With a centralized network view, you can now easily view and manage your entire network from a single interface. If we select one of our resource health icons, we can see the most recent day's worth of health results. We can change to the daily aggregate view for a long-term view into the ongoing health of this resource. Service bus management provides features you will not find anywhere else, such as our one-click message management. Copy, complete, defer, continue, or dead letter. All messages on a given queue or topic with the click of a button. Additionally, the SBM copy feature now supports cross-resource message sending in a convenient and reliable interface. Let's copy all 2 from this dead letter queue. This will bring up our Copy To wizard. This will default to the current service bus resource. Here we see we are copying 1,900 messages from the dead letter queue to the same test queue resource. But we can expand this destination network view and select any resource to which we have access. We can also filter here to quickly find the desired resource. Simply select the target queue or topic. Check the confirmation, and we are now ready to copy messages from the test queue resource to any other queue on the same or any other service bus namespace. We can also select one or more specific messages and choose the Copy To option. This will seed our wizard with the selected messages. In this case, we can edit each individual message if required. And, as with the Copy All option, we can select a destination resource. We can even apply a filter and then select the Copy Filtered To option. On running, this will conduct a full queue scan, and for each message which matches your defined filter, will enact a copy to the target resource. This combines the simplicity of our copy interface with the power of our reporting and message filtering feature, enabling you to effortlessly duplicate very specific messages from one resource to another. Service Bus Management makes management of your queues effortless. Customize the displayed columns or select to display all properties. Select a message to view its individual properties and to view the message body itself. Use the Expand option for full visibility. Copy any property value to clipboard. Utilize our filter feature to conduct targeted message peeking. We can conduct a local filtered peek. This will apply the filter to all messages you have peeked to your browser so far. Or select the server option. When applying your filter, this will then conduct a queue scan and retrieve the next 100 messages which match your criteria. Once applied, paginating will be updated to be a filtered pagination. Scrolling beyond the first 100 messages will automatically continue the queue scan from the last message scanned and will continue until the next 100 messages are peeked which match your criteria. And for filters you wish to reuse, we can save filter. Give it a name and save. Next time you wish to reuse the filter, click the hard drive icon. Select your saved filter and it will auto-populate the filter modal. Both the message filtering and the reporting features also offer powerful message body querying. We provide the full power of the JSONata expression language to query JSON structures, XPath for XML documents, and regular expressions for text-based documents. And with our full logical expression support, whether you define one powerful JSONata expression or chain many together in individual clauses, you will be able to express your most demanding business requirements. Customize your view from your personal settings page. Choose your preferred theme. Control your preferred logging level, time zone, and the duration you wish to wait at most for a given action to complete. And if an administrator has updated your granted roles or scopes, press the Refresh Roles button to pick up the latest changes. Sessions. In addition to all of these features, the solution has complete support for your session-based queues. Everything we have just done and everything we are about to do is fully supported in session-enabled queues. The documentation view replicates the home page and provides an intuitive guide to the solution. Let's select the Solution settings. Here, we can see the side menu mirrors the actual solution settings view. We can select a given resource for page-specific information. We also have this authorization scheme page, which provides an overview of the solution scoped roles feature. Built using the same front-end frameworks as used in Azure with the same styling, it was built to mimic Azure with additions overlaid, providing both power and familiarity. Staff familiar with Azure Service Bus Explorer will already know how to make the most of SBMM. And with inline help, the additional features are easily understood. In summary, SBM is designed for support staff tasked with managing service bus resources, for development teams to easily and quickly create, delete, or copy bulk messages, as well as to find specific messages. And for reporting teams and business areas reliant on this reporting, both of whom will gain additional insights into the operation and content of their service bus resources. SBM provides a one-stop monitoring, managing, and reporting solution complete with organizational controls. It is supported by thorough documentation as well as a growing collection of how-to videos. Simplify your experience with Azure Service Buses today by trying out SBM. With no upfront monthly charge over and above Azure infrastructure costs, and with capped usage-based pricing, SBMM is a cost-effective addition to your suite of tools. Thanks for joining me on this run-through of the features of SBM.